Did you know that 30% of people between the ages of 18 and 30 say they've never had a serious relationship? That's right. 1 out of 3 people in their 20s have never had a girlfriend or boyfriend. But here's the kicker: research shows that loneliness affects our brain like physical pain. That's a shocking fact, isn't it? If you're craving love but feel like it's out of your reach, you're not alone. Whether it's fear, past heartbreak, or just bad timing, many people struggle to find the connection they're looking for. But what if I told you there's a way to change that? A way to finally build the foundation for love, not just with others, but with yourself. In this video, we're diving into 6 powerful chapters that will help you shift your mindset, boost your confidence, and start attracting the right kind of love into your life. From discovering the secret to becoming irresistible, to turning rejection into strength, we'll cover everything you need to know. Ready to finally unlock the love you deserve? Let's dive in. Chapter 1. The love you're missing starts with you. When you're craving love and feel like you've never had a girlfriend, it's easy to think the problem is out there, with others, or with fate. But the truth is, the love you're looking for begins within yourself. To attract the right partner, you must first become the right partner. Self-love isn't just a trendy phrase, it's the cornerstone of meaningful relationships. According to a study published in the Journal of Personality and Social Psychology, people with higher self-esteem tend to form stronger and more supportive relationships. Imagine this: when you feel good about yourself, it shows. You stand taller, speak with confidence, and radiate a positive energy that draws others to you. The key to attracting love isn't about finding someone who will complete you, but about being whole on your own. As the author Brené Brown says, vulnerability is not winning or losing, it's having the courage to show up and be seen when we have no control over the outcome. Being comfortable with yourself and your flaws makes you irresistible, because real love starts with self-acceptance. One strategy for building self-love is through daily affirmations. Begin each day by telling yourself something positive. It could be something simple, like, "I am worthy of love." Over time, these words shape your perception of yourself, and as a result, others begin to see the confidence you've cultivated. Research shows that practicing self-compassion improves emotional resilience and reduces the fear of rejection. Another strategy is setting boundaries. Healthy relationships are built on respect, and that starts with respecting yourself first. When you have boundaries, you teach others how to treat you. Remember, when you value yourself, others will too. Lastly, spend time doing things that make you happy. Whether it's picking up a new hobby, traveling, or simply relaxing, these activities fill you with joy and self-worth. Happiness is magnetic, and when you're happy with who you are, the right people will be drawn to your energy. Chapter 2. Breaking free from your past. The hidden chains holding you back. Our past experiences shape us, but they don't define us. If you've never had a girlfriend, there might be hidden barriers from your past keeping you stuck. The key is to recognize these chains and break free from them. Maybe you've been hurt before, or you've built up walls because of past rejection. It's natural to carry emotional baggage, but holding on to it only makes it harder to move forward. The first step to breaking free is acknowledging the pain. A study by the American Psychological Association found that people who are able to process their emotional experiences are better at forming deep, meaningful relationships. So, it's okay to feel hurt, but it's important not to let those feelings control you. One unique strategy is writing a letter to your past. In this letter, you can express your emotions towards any past relationships or events that have left you scarred. After writing, read it aloud, or privately, and then burn or shred it. This act symbolizes the release of negative emotions tied to your past. Another technique involves reframing past experiences. Instead of seeing them as failures, think of them as lessons. Author and motivational speaker Tony Robbins says, "The only limit to your impact is your imagination and commitment." Reframing challenges as opportunities for growth allows you to see your past not as a prison, but as a source of strength. There's also power in forgiveness. Holding on to resentment is like drinking poison and expecting the other person to die. Forgiving someone, including yourself, doesn't mean you condone their actions. It means you're freeing yourself from the grip of the past. Studies show that forgiveness can lead to reduced stress and better mental health, which makes it easier to connect with others. Breaking free from your past is a journey, and it's okay to take it one step at a time. It's about taking control of your narrative and deciding that you're not bound by what's happened. You're empowered by what's to come. Chapter 3. The Secret Sauce. Becoming irresistible without trying. Have you ever met someone who didn't seem to be trying at all, but you couldn't help but be drawn to them? That's the magic of effortless attraction. You don't have to change who you are to become irresistible, you just have to let your true self shine. Being genuinely yourself is the most attractive thing you can be. A fascinating study by Harvard University revealed that people are more attracted to others when they display qualities like kindness, humility, and emotional intelligence, rather than physical attractiveness alone. In fact, studies show that people who are emotionally intelligent tend to have more fulfilling relationships. Emotional intelligence allows you to connect with others on a deeper level, and that's the foundation of lasting attraction. Start by being present. When you're fully engaged in a conversation, giving someone your undivided attention, they feel seen and valued. Active listening is a simple yet powerful strategy for building rapport. It's easy to talk about yourself, but when you ask thoughtful questions and truly listen, people are more likely to feel a deeper connection. Another key strategy is embracing vulnerability. When you open up and share your true self, you invite others to do the same. This creates a safe space for authentic connection. According to Psychology Today, vulnerability fosters trust and intimacy in relationships, making people feel closer to you. You can also boost your attractiveness by practicing gratitude. Studies show that grateful people tend to have more satisfying relationships. Take time each day to reflect on what you're thankful for, and let that positivity radiate outwards. When you're grateful, you're naturally more optimistic, and optimism is an incredibly attractive trait. Lastly, confidence is magnetic, but it's not about pretending to be something you're not. True confidence comes from accepting who you are and knowing your worth. As the famous quote goes, you are enough, just as you are. When you embrace your quirks and imperfections, others will be drawn to your authentic charm. Becoming irresistible isn't about changing yourself to fit someone else's mold. It's about embracing your unique qualities and letting them shine through. The more genuine you are, the more attractive you'll become. If you've enjoyed these tips so far, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. You won't want to miss the rest of the strategies coming up in the next chapters. Chapter 4. Creating a love story, not a checklist. So many people approach dating like they're checking off boxes on a list. She must be this tall, have this job, like these movies. But love isn't a checklist, it's a journey. Instead of focusing on finding the perfect match based on a list of superficial qualities, think about creating a real connection. According to Psychology Today, couples who are open to growing together tend to have longer-lasting relationships. That means flexibility and openness are far more important than finding someone who ticks off every item on a pre-made list. The first strategy is to let go of perfection. No one is perfect, and expecting that will only set you up for disappointment. In fact, research from the University of Toronto shows that people who are less focused on perfection and more on connection tend to have happier, healthier relationships. When you accept that every person has flaws, it makes it easier to connect on a deeper level. Instead of forcing a connection based on shared interests or qualities, embrace the opportunity to discover new things about each other. Start conversations that aren't centered around the usual topics, like work or hobbies. Ask your date about what excites them in life or what personal goals they have. These types of questions invite vulnerability, which is key to developing trust and intimacy. A great relationship doesn't just grow from similarities, but from exploring differences with curiosity. Another powerful strategy is to embrace the organic flow of a relationship. Rather than rushing toward defining the relationship, take your time to really get to know each other. Research from the University of California suggests that couples who take their time getting to know each other without rushing into labels often develop a stronger emotional bond. This means slow down, enjoy the journey, and let the connection unfold naturally. Finally, let go of the idea that love needs to be predictable. Life is messy and unpredictable, and so is love. Being open to the unexpected aspects of dating can lead to the most surprising and fulfilling relationships. In the words of author Alain de Botton, love is not a feeling of euphoria. It is a commitment to a deep, imperfect, and lasting connection. Chapter 5. The Fear of Rejection. Turning it into your power. The fear of rejection can stop you in your tracks. It's painful, it's uncomfortable, and it's often what holds us back from taking chances in love. But what if I told you rejection could be your greatest teacher? According to a study from the Journal of Social and Personal Relationships, experiencing rejection actually boosts emotional resilience, preparing you to handle future challenges more effectively. Rejection, in a sense, builds your emotional muscle. One strategy to deal with rejection is to reframe it as feedback. Instead of thinking, "They didn't like me," try, "That person wasn't the right fit for me." This subtle shift in perspective helps you move forward without internalizing the rejection. It's not about you as a person, it's about two people not being a match at that moment. This approach takes the sting out of rejection and helps you stay grounded. Another approach is practicing exposure therapy. Just like you would face any fear, the more you expose yourself to rejection, the less it will affect you. Start small. Maybe it's asking someone out or initiating a conversation. The more you face rejection, the less fear it will hold over you. It's like building any muscle, the more you work it, the stronger it gets. Additionally, understand that rejection is a normal part of life. Even the most successful people have faced rejection. For example, Steve Jobs was famously fired from Apple, the company he founded, yet he used that rejection to propel him to greater heights. In relationships, rejection isn't personal, it's simply part of the process. Rejection, when seen as a natural step, becomes easier to embrace. A helpful way to rewire your brain is through journaling. Each time you face rejection, write down how it made you feel, but also write what you can learn from the experience. Writing helps you externalize emotions and gain perspective, making the next experience easier to handle. As the famous quote goes, "A rejection is not a reflection of your worth, it's a redirection to something better." Chapter 6. Building Emotional Muscle. Why vulnerability is your superpower. It's time to let go of the myth that being strong means being closed off. In relationships, emotional vulnerability is actually your superpower. Showing vulnerability allows others to see your true self, creating deeper connections. According to Dr. Brené Brown, a leading expert on vulnerability, vulnerability is not winning or losing, it's having the courage to show up and be seen when we have no control over the outcome. Vulnerability is the bridge between loneliness and connection. The first strategy to embrace vulnerability is to practice emotional honesty. Instead of hiding your true feelings or pretending you have it all together, allow yourself to express your emotions openly. This doesn't mean dumping every single feeling onto someone, but it does mean being genuine when it matters. For instance, telling someone you're nervous or excited can make you appear more human and approachable, rather than distant or cold. Another powerful tool is storytelling. Share moments from your life where you faced challenges and overcame them. When you do this, you invite others into your emotional world. Research shows that when we share personal stories, people feel more connected to us. It's a simple yet effective way to build trust and intimacy. Emotional storytelling helps people see your authenticity and strengthens bonds. Vulnerability also involves embracing uncertainty. It can feel risky to open up, especially if you fear rejection or judgment. But emotional vulnerability is essential for deep connection. A study in the Journal of Social and Personal Relationships found that couples who practice vulnerability experience higher levels of satisfaction in their relationships. This shows that the deeper the emotional connection, the stronger the bond. One easy strategy is to ask for help. It may feel uncomfortable at first, but allowing yourself to rely on others can create an emotional exchange that builds trust. Whether you ask for advice, share a struggle, or lean on someone for support, asking for help fosters intimacy and creates opportunities for connection. Lastly, take small steps each day to become more emotionally open. Share a little more with friends, practice empathy when others share their feelings, and gradually let your guard down in romantic interactions. The more you practice vulnerability, the easier it becomes. As Brené Brown puts it, vulnerability is not winning or losing, it's having the courage to show up and be seen. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss a new strategy that can help you unlock the love you've been waiting for. See you in the next video.